Definitely. So you obviously had all these passions. Let's talk about the school for a second. How was that transition for you? Okay, you've seen wrestling 1,000 times. You know so much about wrestling going in, but now you're training. Now you're in the ring. You're bumping all this stuff. What kind of a transition was that for you? Did you take to it easily? Was it a hard thing to adapt to?
Definitely hard. First bumps. I almost like
preach it. Go ahead and tell him.
Okay.
I tell him all the time. So somebody else explain it to him for once. Yes.
This is the best part. One of my favorite parts about Black and Brave is that it's a 13-week course. The first week is just he tests you, and you basically go in there and do CrossFit for 5 hours. It's super intense. Like I feel like Navy SEAL training, kind of deal. Like just trying
cardio
to
stuff,
destroy us.
Yeah, essentially.
All right. So we get that over.
Thin the herd. He wants to thin the herd.
Exactly.
Right.
2 people dropped out in my class the first day. One guy came back on the second day, but he just showed up and was like, I can't do this. The other guy had some crazy excuses. Crazy, I like the weird excuses people come up with instead of just saying, like, I can't fucking do this, man. Like, they'll be like,
my rotator cuff.
Yeah, my great aunt's dog has a brain tumor, and I got to go home now. They had one guy in one class from Ireland come over, got here, landed in the airport. I forget what the deal was, but something happened, and he went home, never even came. But that's the thing.
He flew all the way to Iowa.
All the way to Iowa, landed. From Ireland, and something happened. I forget the details, but he didn't even leave the airport. Just got back on a plane. So you go there. It's a 12-week course. You pay your money up front, and you're free to quit whenever you want. No refund, but just know you're going home on your own accord, kind of deal. If you get injured, I'm sure I got injured in training, and they were going to work out a deal if I could come back at another class, but the deal was that I was week 7 in a 13-week course, got injured, and I'd have to take all first 7 weeks over again.
And you were like, fuck that.
I didn't care because I really did think I had to go home. I was like, I couldn't even walk. I was so injured.
Where was that a leg injury or back injury? Or
we were learning back suplexes, and the guy that was doing it to me kind of dropped me a little bit on my side.
Right.
I separated my ribs and got a contusion in the lat muscle because the rib pushed into the muscle.
Jesus, yeah.
And that was the day. If you go on Seth's Instagram, there's a video of me deadlifting like 525 pounds. That was the day I injured my back. And there's like
Did you press it before the injury or after? Because
it was like I got injured and everyone was like, oh, man, we should end class. And then there's a cool down WOD because he's CrossFit Jesus. He does these WODs, right, where like it's like endurance. Run a mile and do this. Do box jumps. Do pull-ups and do this. I always lost. I'm not fucking good at that. I'm 240 pounds, against these like 19-year-olds that are
You're a dense motherfucker, dude.
I know. Getting me to move around is a little tough, but, I can do it.
Yeah.
I could do it, but I just don't want to.
Yeah, the motivation's not there.
A 19-year-old track and field guy is going to whoop my ass in a CrossFit competition. So the one day I get injured and I can't do the end of the cool down WOD, right? It's 1 rep max deadlift. I was on the floor like screaming in pain, and they just came over and put an ice pack on me and put like a weight plate on my back because I was laying on my stomach, and then I'm like. Jesus. Moaning in agony, and I look over and I see they're deadlifting, and I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I pulled myself up with a rope, like the rope climbing thing in the gym.
Yeah.
Pull myself up. I hobble over there. Seth's like, "Don't do it, big man," because they were up to like 405. They worked.
That's the funniest Seth Rollins impression I've ever heard. Because his voice does get really grainy like that.
Yeah. All right, Ronnie, you're up.
All right, well, I'm blackballed from WWE, but go ahead.
So I get up. He's like, don't do it, big man. They were up to 405. They worked up to 405. I was like, fuck it, I'm lifting it. I lifted 405. And then now by this point, it's only down to me and this guy, Joe Asa. And we go up to, he keeps getting me, and I'm like, he's not going to get me on this one. It was like 495 or something. I was like, fuck, he got it. I was like, all right. And I had just deadlifted 600 pounds before I went into training, so I was all like, deadlifting's my thing. I do deadlifts like a lot. So I was like, put on 550. So we put on 550. I couldn't get it. My back was like excruciating. So we take it off 525. Joesa loses. I win. Boom. So it was awesome. But yeah, anyway, training there is super intense. So you don't have to be in shape to go there. They'll take anyone. They have said that my class was the most athletic class they've had, so they really pushed us because they knew they could. But if whatever your limitations are, they'll work around it and get you through it. But it's up to you to do it. I've seen people just literally not try and just go home. I'm like, I can't quit. Like, there's no quit in me. There was no way I was going home, even though I knew, like, fuck, man, like, there's only a few more weeks left. If I can't get back in the ring, like, they gonna let me graduate, or are they just gonna be like, no fucking way? So I had to go through all kinds of shit to get fixed for that. And what wound up working was just pain pills from the doctor, muscle relaxers. And it took one muscle relaxer, the thing was fixed. Well, I went to the chiropractor. He had to move my ribs around. But once I got the pain pill, I was like, I texted my buddy, I was like, I'm a real pro wrestler now. I got muscle relaxers.
It is. It's official now.
Yeah.
I'm one of the boys now.
Yeah.
I gotta admit, as fun as it is to make these shows, it feels even nicer knowing I'm being heard. And if you want to hear every single episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind with me, your host, AJ Orsini, all you need to do to catch every new episode is head over to ajoum.podbean.com every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. And if you can't get on the Podbean, I've got several other platforms in which you can catch me. The show is also on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play Music, Listen Notes, Castbox.fm, and now officially Spotify. You can catch all those platforms and get your fix of Orsini's Uncensored Mind.